everyone. In the process of learning a subject, the most important and first step is to read the lesson, isn't it? In school, teacher makes us to read the lesson once before explaining. But at home, for the students who find it difficult to read the lesson and for the differently abled, we are introducing audio textbooks. These will help you to listen and read the lesson while going through the text. Our state government has provided us with PDF of the textbooks. So let us start reading the lessons. The first lesson in our English textbook is The Tattered Blanket. Let us start reading the lesson. When he arrived unexpectedly at his home in the countryside in his office car and got down at the gate, his mother, who was lying in an armchair on the veranda, made a futile attempt to get up. Kamla, there is somebody at the gate, she said. Somebody is in the car. Kamla, her eldest daughter, a widow, who was sitting huddled up on the thinna on the veranda, her head and ears covered with a thin bath towel, got up reluctantly, walked slowly to the gate, and screwing up her eyes, peered into the darkness. She saw a bald, fat, middle-aged man walking in through the gate. "Oh, Gopi," she said in her grating voice. "Why this sudden unexpected visit?" "Kamla, who is it?" her mother asked loudly from the veranda. "Gopi," the man said. "There was a meeting in Thiruvananthapuram. I just dropped in on my way back." "Who? Kamla? Who is it?" There was a note of alarm in Amma's voice. "Amma, why are you so scared?" Kamala, Gopi's elder sister, asked her a little awkwardly, as if you are seeing Gopi for the first time. "Amma, it's me, Gopi," he said again. He bent down and brought his face close to her wrinkled cheeks. "Amma, it's me." "Gopi?" "Kamala, I can't believe it. Has his school closed for vacation?" "Amma is often like this these days. She doesn't recognize anybody," Gopi's sister explained. "But sometimes her memory is quite sharp. Then she asks me if you have sent any letter. I tell her everything is fine with you, Vimala, and the kids. What is the point of telling her that you haven't written for a year? Poor thing. I wouldn't dream of making her unhappy. I got a promotion last year. After that, I'm always on my toes. And there are tours quite often. I don't get any time to write letters. Why don't you ask Vimala to write? Or doesn't she get any time too?" "What are you mumbling over there?" Amma said loudly. "I heard somebody coming in a car. Who is it?" "I told you, it's Gopi." "But Gopi is in Delhi, isn't he?" "Yes, Amma, it's me. I have come from Delhi." "Who did Gopi marry?" Amma said, suddenly lowering her voice. "I mean, what's his wife's name?" "Don't say you have forgotten her name too. Don't you remember Vimala, District Collector Nambiar's eldest daughter?" Gopi's sister said. "Oh, I forgot the name. Was there a letter from Gopi today?" "There was. He writes every day." "I'm terribly upset if I don't get a letter from him every day." "He knows it. That's why he writes every day." "Look at the way she talks." Gopi's sister turned to him. "Just as I told you, you know nothing about what's going on here. Do you?" "Who is that?" Amma said again. "Who is that in a car?" "It's me," Gopi said. "I had to come to Thiruvananthapuram. I thought I should drop in to see you, Amma." "Who is your Amma? What is her name? Where does she live? Is it far from here?" "No, it is quite near." "I don't know how I can bring back her memory," Gopi's sister said to him exasperatedly. Gopi placed his briefcase on the thinna. He opened it and pulled out the contents. Clothes, files, a shaving set. "Do you know my son Gopi?" Amma asked him. "He is in Delhi, a government officer. He has Kesari Yogam. He draws a salary of 2,500 rupees. Do you know him?" "Yes, I know him." "Tell him to send me a blanket. There is a cold mist in the mornings. If I catch cold, it doesn't leave me for a long time. Tell him to send a blanket, won't you? A red one. I had a blanket, the one he brought for me when he was studying in Madras. It is all tattered now, just a ball of knotted yarn. Tell him to send me a red blanket, will you? I'll tell him, he nodded. Please don't forget to tell him. The mist is not good for me. I think I'll stretch myself out for a bit. I have been sitting too long in the armchair. I have a pain in the neck. Gope's sister put Amma to bed and came back to the veranda. You didn't come to see Amma, did you? Delhi is too expensive. You know I have 4 children to look after now. I can't make both ends meet with my salary. And one has to keep up one's status. It will be a great help if I can raise some money by selling my share of the family property. I came to talk it over with you. You'll sell your land and go away with the money. I know you won't come here any more after that. Don't say that. I'll come when I get time. Your time? He saw the irritation on his sister's face. It took you more than 5 years to find time to come here. Amma is 83 now. I don't think she'll pull on much longer. It took you so long to visit her after the last time. But Amma can't remember who I am, he said, smiling feebly. But do you remember your Amma? The first poem in our English textbook is My Mother, poet Rabindranath Tagore. Let's start reading the poem. I cannot remember my mother. Only sometime in the midst of my play, a tune seems to hover over my playthings, the tune of some song that she used to hum while rocking my cradle. I cannot remember my mother, but when in the early autumn morning the smell of the shirley flowers floats in the air, the scent of the morning service in the temple comes to me as the scent of my mother. I cannot remember my mother, only when from my bedroom window I send my eyes into the blue of the distant sky, I feel that the stillness of my mother's gaze on my face has spread all over the sky. Under the extensive reading, we have a letter to a friend. Let's start reading it. Hyderabad, 12/11/2012. Dear Suresh, this is Ramesh. I apologize for not meeting you during your visit to Hyderabad last week. Unfortunately, I had a meeting in my office. I remember how we enjoyed our childhood days in Manikonda village. Every day we played together in our garden. Our family was very big. There were 12 members in our family. I remember how we played in the moonlight. Our grandma used to give us fruits and biscuits. Our grandpa used to tell us fairy tales about the princess, warriors, and the village boys. Now I am working at Microsoft, a software company, Hyderabad, as a computer programmer. I'm married and we have a child. My wife works at Dell, Hyderabad as a system analyst. You know, city life is quite busy. We start in the morning, leave our child at the baby care center, and come back in the evening with faded faces. We hardly find time to sit together. How disgusting. We work with computers, think like computers, and live like computers. We have forgotten our family. I remember how we played gilli danda, hide and seek, and kabaddi. We went for swimming in our local tank every Sunday. Here we live in an apartment where there is no room to play. Our flat is our world, just like a well for a frog. The world remains unheeded. How happy we were in our school. We used to sit in the same row, did all the work together, and took part in the events. I remember how Padmanabhaya sir, our class teacher, appreciated us when we got the first prize in district science fair. I remember how we went on a picnic to Koil Sagar. There we went boating. Our tour to Sri Salem was memorable. Still I remember the green hills full of trees that almost touched the sky. I remember the roaring of the Krishna river at the dam. There is nothing here. I wonder at my child's silence. He always sits in front of the computer and plays games. never caring for anyone. I remember the happy moments when our uncle visited us. He brought toys and fruits for us. Our aunt brought me a new dress for Dasara. How we enjoyed Deepavali! Still, I hear the sound of crackers. I can see the rockets flying into the sky, making the night full of light. Where are those days? My child doesn't know his uncle or aunt. For him, uncle and neighbor are the same. Sometimes I think our childhood days. I think of grandparents, uncles, brothers, sisters. We missed them. We missed the joy of the family. We missed their company. We are missing many things in this busy life. Suresh, I don't know where those gardens have gone. Those fairy tales, those fruits, those words of love and affection. We have lost our real life in this unreal world. Anyhow, I'm happy that I have found time to write to you. Please come to me. Let's remember our childhood days of joy. Your loving friend, Ramesh.